Prince Harry and Meghan Markle looked emotional as they arrived in car to Buckingham Palace, where they would have viewed the Queen's coffin together for the first time. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex arrived at the palace shortly before the Queen's casket, and only after it made the journey from the RAF Northolt Air Force Station in Ruislip. Londoners lined the streets to get a chance to see the Queen's casket before arriving at the palace. The coffin arrived at Buckingham Palace shortly after 8 p.m, and it was accompanied by Princess Anne. King Charles and the Queen Consort had arrived in Buckingham Palace earlier in the day after arriving back from Northern Ireland. Pictures show King Charles III waited for Queen Elizabeth I's casket to arrive at Buckingham Palace with Harry and Meghan directly behind him standing on a staircase Tuesday evening in London, England. Charles looks worried as he kept his head bowed down with his hands behind his back as members of the King's Guard stood outside awaiting the Queen's jaguar hearse. While Meghan could be seen in a black dress alongside her husband, and Harry wore a suit and tie combo, with a white, button-down shirt. He stayed close to Meghan's side and appeared to be holding her hand as he walked behind his father. The Queen arrived back in London on Tuesday after making her final journey from Scotland. Her coffin was transported by plane to RAF Northolt, accompanied by her devoted daughter, Princess Anne. The Queen will spend Tuesday night in the Bow Room at Buckingham Palace, where she once hosted dinners for foreign royals and dignitaries. On Wednesday, a procession will take place to move the late monarch to Westminster Hall, where the Queen will lie in state for 4 days. Kate Middleton and Meghan Markle will play an important supporting role as the Queen's coffin is transported through London. The royal procession will commence at 2:22 p.m. on Wednesday with Her Majesty's casket expected to arrive at Westminster Hall at 3 p.m. Members of the royal family will walk in procession behind the Queen's coffin, including all 4 of her children, King Charles III, Princess Anne, Prince Andrew and Prince Edward. While Kate and Meghan will assume a key supporting role as they travel behind the hearse by car with senior royals. The Princess of Wales and Duchess of Sussex will be there to accompany Camilla Queen Consort and Sophie Countess of Wessex during the emotional event. Queen Elizabeth II died Thursday at the age of 96. She was the longest reigning monarch in British history, and the second longest reigning monarch in the history of the world. The casket will now rest in the Bow Room overnight until being moved into Westminster Hall to lie in state. Hundreds of thousands of mourners are expected to file past and pay their respects to Her Majesty before her official funeral Monday.